We are engaging very closely with all of our allies and partners around the world on the question of Russia's brutal aggression against Ukraine. Of course, that includes India. We also very much agree with Prime Minister Modi's assertion that today's era is not an era of war. We are engaging very closely with all of our allies and partners around the world on the question of Russia's brutal aggression against Ukraine. Of course, that includes India. The international community firmly recognizes the need to hold Russia to account for the atrocities that it's committed and that its forces are committing in Ukraine. Russia's war has affected not only Ukraine, as important as Ukraine is, and this conflict, this war that Russia is perpetrating against Ukraine is, this is much bigger in a sense. It has affected countries around the world in any number of ways. Foreign Minister Jaishankar stated during his November visit to Moscow that this war, in the aftermath of 2 years of the COVID pandemic, has caused significant economic pain, particularly to developing countries. We've also have seen a spike in food prices, a spike in energy prices, upwards in pressure on inflation around the world. All of these are exacerbated by Russia's illegal, unprovoked war against Ukraine. We have been in regular, close contact with India regarding what we can do to hold Russia accountable and to impose additional costs on Russia for its war. We may not always share precisely the same policy approaches, but we both share a commitment to upholding a rules-based international order that respects territorial integrity and sovereignty. That is at the heart of our global strategic partnership with India. It is at the heart of what we seek to do with the Quad, with the other bilateral and multilateral work we do with our Indian partners. We agree very much with India that the restoration of an enduring peace in Ukraine is essential. This is the same message that President Zelensky himself has issued. During the G20, he spoke to the assembled world leaders, laid out his vision for a just peace. This is something that we very much welcome. We do welcome India's support for the people of Ukraine. India has provided humanitarian assistance and calls by India for an immediate end to Russia's brutal war against Ukraine. We also very much agree with Prime Minister Modi's assertion that today's era is not an era of war. Of course, that was a comment that was echoed at the G20. We've heard that comment at the UN as well. And we do believe that countries like India, countries that have a relationship with Russia and with Ukraine, may be in a position to help bring about dialogue and diplomacy that could one day put an end to this war. I say one day, and I put this in the conditional, because there is one country that, of course, has demonstrated no willingness to put an end to this war.